Okay, so let's dive right into Chapter 21 of The Lightning Thief, Settling the Final Tab.
So think about everything Percy Jackson has been through. He's had to deal with betrayal.
He has literally walked among the gods on Mount Olympus.
He's even felt the first rumblings of the big bad himself, the Titan Lord, Kronos.
You'd think he's faced it all, right? Well, what Chapter 21 really shows us is that after all of that, sometimes the hardest trial is just coming home.
So let's get into it. This chapter, it might feel like just an epilogue, but it is so much more than that. It's actually the final, and I'd argue one of the most critical stages of the classic hero's journey.
You see the structure in basically every great myth, right? You've got the quest, the trials, and then the return. In Chapter 21, it is all about the return. This is that tricky part where the hero, who's been fundamentally changed by their adventure, has to come back and try to fit into their old life. And believe me, as we're about to see, that can be a tougher battle than facing any monster.
And man, you can feel that shift in tone, can't you? It's like whiplash. Percy is literally leaving a world of epic quests and mythological beasts for the, let's say, smaller but way more complicated problems waiting for him back in his New York apartment.
Yeah, and the number one problem waiting for him? It's not some ancient god or a terrifying beast. Nope, it's his stepfather, Gabe Ugliana.
See, Gabe isn't a monster with claws and fangs. He's something way more real, and honestly, way more familiar. Thematically, he's a symbol of all that mundane, real-world cruelty. You know, the petty tyrant, the bully with a bit of power. He is the everyday monster, the kind you don't need to go to the underworld to find.
And remember the crazy irony here, right? His mom, Sally, she needed Gabe's, let's call it unpleasant, human scent to hide Percy from mythological monsters. But here's the thing. The Percy who left that apartment is not the Percy who just walked back in. He's come back with strength, with confidence, with the knowledge that he's the son of a god. The whole power dynamic in that home, it's been completely flipped on its head.
So just as Percy is facing this very mortal, very human problem, what happens? A package shows up. A delivery, straight from Mount Olympus. And inside is a very mythological solution.
And what's in the box? It's Medusa's head. Yeah, the same one Percy mailed to the gods as a giant, defiant act of rebellion, and now they've returned it to sender. This thing isn't just a weapon now. Oh no, it's a tool of absolute, permanent consequence. It's a choice with no takebacks.
Okay, so this is it. This is the moment of truth. What Percy decides to do with this incredible, terrible power, that's what's going to define him. Not just as a demigod, but as a true hero.
And this is where we see just how far he's come. Does he use it himself, get his revenge? No. He gives the choice to his mother. He empowers her. This is a huge moment, you guys. It shows respect, trust, maturity. It's the polar opposite of what Luke, driven by his own anger, would have done. Percy shows that he gets it now. The true test of power isn't using it, it's knowing when to give it to someone else.
And that decision by Percy leads us to maybe one of the most debated moments in the entire series, what Sally Jackson chooses to do with Medusa's head.
Because her choice raises a massive moral question, one that fans still argue about. Is what she does justice, or is it revenge?
So let's break this down a bit. You've got these two competing ideas. On the justice side, you have a woman finally standing up to her abuser, reclaiming her freedom in an act of self-defense. But on the revenge side, well, it's a permanent, lethal solution. You're using a god-tier weapon on a regular, albeit awful human. Is that a line that should be crossed?
It's a really good debate, for sure. But the book itself, it kind of picks a side. The whole story frames this as an act of empowerment. It's not shown as a dark, vengeful moment. It's shown as Sally finally freeing herself, taking back her life and her dignity after everything she sacrificed to keep Percy safe.
All right, so let's talk about the chapter's title for a second. I Settle My Tab. This really brings us to the final resolution of this whole situation.
Because what happens next is just perfect, dark, ironic justice. Gabe, this guy who was obsessed with money and poker, he becomes a statue called the Poker Player. And Sally? She sells it. She literally profits from her abuser's removal and uses that money to go to college and build her own life. Talk about settling a tab.
And this whole resolution just perfectly highlights Percy's journey. I mean, think back to Percy in Chapter 1. He was angry, impulsive, felt completely trapped. Now look at him. He's thoughtful, strategic. He respects the autonomy of the people he loves. He empowers them. That arc, right there, that is the journey from boy to hero.
And really, this chapter leaves us with this one powerful, lingering idea. This thought that kind of blurs the line between the world of myths and our own world.
It's this idea that, true heroism isn't always about fighting a hydra or stealing a lightning bolt. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is confront the monster sitting on your own couch. It takes this huge epic quest and brings it to such a deeply personal, deeply human conclusion. And it's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most important journey is the one that brings you right back home.